with a whale. Out of handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock.
I love you.
Angela Stone, hospitalized a brick. That's bad. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. Fast and fast and fast. Last night, I cut the light off my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. All you chumps are gonna bow when I whip him. All of you, I know you got him. I know you got him fixed. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to BodyWork Boxing.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWork Boxing. It is a lovely time in the sport of boxing. There's some big fights that are happening, have happened, some big fights on the horizon. And I would like to talk about Devin Haney, George Kambosos, Lomachenko, and Tank. Because everything I've been saying in my videos, everything is lining up the way it needs to be. And I have my theories on how it needs to go. At this point in time, Tank and Lomachenko needs to fight. I want Tank and Devin right now. So don't get it twisted. I want that fight right now. But guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to do what you hear all these other content creators doing right now. Every day, all day. And it get up under my skin. I'm not going to lie to you. It get up under my skin. But I recall, let's go back to the trilogy. And I know the trilogy can be toxic. We're talking about Wilder and Fury. We're talking about race. We're talking about all these things, right? But I remember, after the first fight, and everybody would say, oh, I don't know why Tyson Fury, why he's avoiding this, why he's doing this after the second fight. Every time a fight with Tyson Fury was brought up and him entertaining something else or going to go do something else, the YouTube boxing community was going ham. I don't know what Tyson Fury think he doing. He know he got a rematch clause. Rematch. That's all I kept hearing was rematch clause. Now, we acting blind, deaf, and dumb. God damn. And here recently, I gave Devin Haney his respect after the JoJo Diaz fight. And I gave my utter respect after he dismantled George Kambosos the way he did. Put on a wonderful boxing clinic. I gave him his salute. I gave him his time to shine. I acknowledge that, yes, you are an undisputed champion. You are in the history books. You've done something that nobody has done. Salute to you, salute to Bill for overcoming all the adversities and all, everything that they had to encounter and taking the short money and doing exactly what he wanted Gary Russell to do beforehand. Taking that deal with Top Rank, leaving Eddie, the Zone, aka ADT. Check out the videos because the Zone is ADT and Eddie, he's constantly saying now, he's putting out things right now to let you know how he think and how he performs his ADT duties. It's not about the show. That's not what the show's about right now. But I gave Devin all his just dues. But I said that beating George Kambosos does not make you the best. It makes you the champion. It makes you the guy that everybody has to go see. So all paths go through Devin right now. Yes, you did grab the reins. You have the reins in your hands, but that does not equate to being the best lightweight in the division. The division needs to be cleared out. 135 needs to be cleared out. The belt needs to be defended. like Gary Russell did when he had his belt. One of the longest reigning, I think he was the longest reigning champ when he had his belt. But the point I'm getting at is, why do we switch up the energy? How are we walking around saying Tank is blatantly ducking Devin now, and Lomachenko is blatantly ducking Devin now? Because going into the fight, all the videos were saying how Kambosos was a clown for calling on Loma because Loma was at war. And so now the scapegoat is, since Usyk has something on the table and he's leaving the war to go fight, now it's acceptable for Lomachenko to get a pass to come out of the war to go fight. Which, okay, is Loma at war or not? You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to clarify first, because we can manipulate, he's at war, he's available. You know why? We can manipulate it depending on which side of the fence you're on. You can manipulate that all day, every day, right? But how was George a clown for calling out Loma, and now Devin know he had a rematch clause calling for Loma? Devin, knowing he got a rematch clause, calling for Tank. And I recall it was before George Kambosos BTO, but it was in that time when everybody was like, they were trying to get the Undisputed like totally solidified. It was during that time. I remember when Devin was asked the question about fighting Loma, and his exact words were, "Why would I fight Loma?" But now you with Bob Arum. Now the carrot on the stick and all this machismo, I want Tank, because I called it out before. I said leading up to his fights, Devin he did it leading into the Linares fight, he did it with Lomachenko. Speaking Lomachenko's name about the dust, he did it. After the fight, he called out Tank. He did it. Before the Jojo Diaz fight, I'll put my name in the Tank hat. He did it. Knowing he was with Eddie Hearn and them. The Zone. He did it. This is a pattern that we just can't allow it, man. I give my salute. I got a lot of respect now because I was able to see some of the spar wars, because, Devin's highlight right now is the spar wars. Up until the George Kambosos, monumental feat that he did, spar wars was everything that Devin was known for. How great he is in sparring, how he shadow boxes, and how he, does everything great. The George Kambosos actually gave me a glimpse into the real Devin Haney that's in these spar wars that people talk about. So I give him a lot of credence for that. But I'm not gonna sit up here and buy into this narrative that everybody's painting right now. That what's up with Tank? Why would Tank say he's next? Devin know he got a rematch clause. George Kambosos know he got a rematch clause. Where's the Wilder Fury energy? When Fury knew he had a rematch clause, and every other day and all day, every day, all we heard was from Wilder fans, "Oh man, Fury know he got a rematch clause. I don't know why he gonna be in court." People became lawyers. People became promoters. People became, I don't know what they became everything but boxing fans at that time. Highlighting how Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder had a rematch clause. So why are we entertaining anything that's going on right now in regards to saying anybody is ducking Devin when he got a rematch clause? Not to mention these sidebars where people are saying, because it's either Loma or Devin. The narrative now is it's either Loma or Tank, and if not, he's moving up. But if you ask about Gary Antoine Russell, well, for what? He don't have a belt. But what is he moving up for? Unless it's to fight Josh Taylor or whoever they gave that belt that they took from Josh Taylor for. For what? Is it going to be a Sabril Matias? Is it going to be a Brandon Lee? Like, who is it going to be? Because who got the belts? So now it's all about the belts, but it's really not all about the belts because Tank is the biggest fight. Tank and Devin right now is the biggest fight that can be made, aside from Spence and Crawford. Right now, maybe a Charlo Canelo, maybe, depending on what side of the fence you're on and what's your cup of tea, maybe. But let's stop it when you know you got a rematch clause. And I heard on another show, I think it was last week, they were talking about how, what if, and this is a far stretch, but they were saying, what if George Kambosos knew that he had a second fight, and his ultimate goal was knowing that he just had to win that second fight. Very interesting concept. I don't necessarily buy it. However, the fact of the matter is, if George Kambosos win this second fight between him and Devin Haney, there's a rematch clause that George Kambosos is going to take full advantage of, because I don't got anybody paying George Kambosos any substantial kind of money to make him step aside to see Devin and Tank. So why are we even wasting our energy on this? Let's be realistic. When you know you got a rematch clause, you can walk around in the mess hall with your chest out. You can walk around and say, oh man, Tank, you know, I mean, this is the same thing. And let me bring up this other point. I'm still hearing this point about how Ryan Garcia don't sell. We know Ryan Garcia don't sell because he's on DAZN. And the point that's always made about Ryan Garcia is that you can't prove his numbers. They fight on DAZN. They never relinquish numbers. Well, up until Devin Haney went and fought George Kambosos, he was in the same boat. So to say that Devin Haney now sells because of 1-point-something million viewership at a certain point in time on ESPN, where George Kambosos had, 40,000 people over there waiting, and it was titled as Undisputed with a whole country. Like, to say that he sells now is that's irresponsible, man. Like, man, like, this is what I say, like, people will make you seem as though you hate a certain fighter when you don't hate the certain fighter. You hate the fact that they manipulate these stats and these statistics and these timelines and what's really going on with these fights and why these big fights aren't being made. Now Tank getting his name dragged all through the mud like he's ducking, and why he ain't saying Devin. And I thought he said Devin, he want Devin next if he win. He did say he want Devin next if he win. But then they say, it's cool to say that. This is what they say. They knock Tank and say, oh, it's cool to say that when you know Devin got a rematch clause. So where is it coming from right now when the narrative is being painted that Devin want Tank or Loma, and he know he got a rematch clause? That's the elephant in the room. Somebody talk to me. What do you think? Because I already said, it's time. I went into that George Kambosos fight with Devin Haney thinking that George Kambosos was going to win, but I wanted Devin to win. Why? Go back and check the videos. Because I want him to come and fight Tank and get that ass brutalized. And I still stand on it. So let's keep the same energy that we had when everybody wanted Wilder to get his get back, and everybody was saying rematch clause, rematch clause. Fury know he got a rematch clause. Fury know he got a rematch clause. Devin know he got a rematch clause. Kambosos know he got a rematch clause. Why are we entertaining all of this? We need to line right now, okay? Because one thing is for certain: Devin and George got a rematch clause. Let's define whether or not Loma is at war or not. Let's get Tank and Loma to fight. And that way, when George and Devin fight again, the division will be cleared out with one last fight in which the winner of this rematch clause, Devin Haney and George Kambosos, can fight the winner of Tank and Loma right now. Now, I want Devin for Tank right now. But if we're going to play this game, let's play this game right. So if you know he got a rematch clause and we know that Tank and Devin can't fight right now, It can't be made right now. Even though my only solace is watching the Rise podcast and actually seeing Bill Haney and Kenny chop it up. Now, I know Bill, the savvy businessman he is, it's ultimate promotion. It's the ultimate teaser. It's the ultimate, oh man, yeah, we can talk about it. We can get it done. We want to fight the best. But you know you got a rematch clause. Anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the growth, man. I just hit a little growth, man. We at 300, man. We at 305 right now. You know, I'm on my way to 1,000. Building the channel brick by brick. Here at BodyWork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
All right. I believe you. But my Tommy gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
My word, and I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid up, man. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all.
You guys got outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so